Alright, we have a topic to talk about today that is kind of strange because there's not been a lot of hype around it and there's not really been a lot of fanfare in relation to what Polaroid has done here. But I want to talk about it because it's important enough that it needs noted. Polaroid Originals has recently changed their name back to Polaroid. Now, if you've followed Polaroid and you've been buying Impossible Project film for years and all of that whole journey there, Polaroid has had a really crazy story here. So they started out really strong. When digital got introduced, they fell way behind, decided to give up on Polaroid, and a group of people decided that that was just not acceptable. And it's not. We need to keep Polaroid around. It's a very important part of film history, and it's a very important part of film today. So what they did was they started the Impossible Project, which the idea was to bring back the formulas and things that Polaroid had and hadn't destroyed, because yes, they destroyed a lot of the equipment and formulas and things, which just sounds insane, but because why would you destroy something even though you're not going to continue to sell it anymore? Why would you not keep that for like your legacy? But they did, I guess, maybe to deter competitors and things like that. And the Impossible Project really sought to bring that back. And it was very iffy at the beginning. I've tried their films for years. You guys know, you can search back in my videos. I've done Impossible Project film reviews for years. And the films were not very good at start. And they were more experimental and they were super expensive. And then Polaroid Originals came about, where they tried to make it more of a consumer product for your average person. And it worked. People were really getting into Polaroid. Again, the film was a lot more affordable. It was still a little bit pricey, but it's still more affordable. They were coming out with some new cameras, some new functions, maybe integrating like some Bluetooth and things like that. Nothing too amazing in terms of quality, but they made it more accessible to your average consumer. So that's good. That's always good when more people have access to film photography. And very recently, Polaroid Originals, which was the iteration after the Impossible Project, has changed their name back to just Polaroid. And this is really good because it tells us that they're getting back to their roots in terms of the branding and the marketing. So Polaroid Originals is now Polaroid. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on that because it's a very, very simple statement. Polaroid Originals is now Polaroid. What they've done is they've came out with a new camera to celebrate this. A very consumer-friendly, budget-friendly camera that competes with the Fujifilm Instax camera line. And I say that it competes because of the price. It's around the $100 range, usually about $99 for this new Polaroid camera called the Polaroid Now. Now their marketing has been absolutely terrible for this product, and I know a lot of people are thinking, well, we've been in the midst of a pandemic. How do you market a Polaroid camera? And I think Polaroid has thought the same thing because they haven't really tried to market it. They haven't pushed. And in fact, if you look up videos here on YouTube, there's only a handful. And I'm sorry, but if I was releasing a brand new consumer-friendly Polaroid camera, I would be pushing that thing no matter if it was the end of the world. Here's why they should still market this camera and why I think it's crazy that they haven't. People are stuck in their homes. People are looking for something to occupy their time. And film photography is having this crazy resurgence that I'm super happy about because it means more people are shooting film, more people are interested in the different formats of film, Polaroid being one, instant film being one. To assume that people are going to stop being interested in that because there's a pandemic is a little bit crazy because I found myself taking more pictures than ever during this time. Now I know it's different for everyone, and I know that they have a lot of competition in this area with Fuji, but to not really market it at all, they have like 2 different commercials, these really short 30-second to a minute ads that they created and posted on YouTube that have a couple thousand views to market a brand new Polaroid camera. And I gotta say, the camera doesn't even look that bad. It's got a really nice curved edge design, so it's a little bit different than what we've seen with the really boxy looking Polaroids in the past, but that's okay because they're trying to create something new here. The design is still very similar to the classic Polaroid cameras that we all know and love, but it's more accessible to your average consumer because those older Polaroids are crazily priced on the secondhand market. I mean, I'm talking about Polaroid SX70, which I had a couple of years ago and sold like a crazy person, is now going for like $400 and $500 in good condition on eBay. Paid $100 and some for mine a few years ago, and that was even high at the time. We have to have a market for these new cameras because the older cameras that people are buying up like crazy, there's not as many of them. Obviously, as time goes on, there's not going to be as many, and the demand is going to continue to increase as more people find out about film photography. So the fact that Polaroid decided to just kind of do a soft release, in my opinion, and say, our product's for sale. You can go buy this product right now, which is what's crazy because you probably haven't even heard of it. The Polaroid Now has autofocus, which is a really big feature that they should be proud of, introducing that back into the cameras, because it means that you don't have to worry so much about your photos coming out blurry or out of focus, which has been an issue in the past with Polaroid film, the Polaroid Originals film, and the Impossible Project film. I can't count how many photos turned out completely unusable. Like, they just were not good, and I didn't want to throw them away because of the cost. I mean, you spend quite a bit on that film, but I didn't really want to keep them either. Kept them anyway. But when I show people my Polaroids, they're like, oh, that one didn't turn out. There's another one that didn't turn out. That's because the older ones were really hard to get in focus, in my opinion, using the older cameras. They added autofocus to the Polaroid Now in a camera that's under $100. That's pretty noteworthy. That is pretty special. That alone warrants a huge marketing campaign. Not to mention, they're offering more colors than I think I've ever seen offered on a Polaroid line of cameras. Yes, they've had special editions in the past, and they've had like the Stranger Things edition and things like that of their cameras, but they've never offered just a specific one type of camera in like 7 different colors. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna put a link in the description to where you can buy the Polaroid Now right now, and I do really think that it's a good alternative to like the Fuji Instax cameras if you're wanting something that still gives you more of a retro look, because that's something cool that Polaroid has going for them. Is there's a specific look to Polaroid photos that you just can't get any other way. Yes, Fuji is offering really crisp, clear photos and consistent results, but if you're wanting something that looks a little more artistic and a little more retro, kind of that Instagram filter look that everybody loves, you gotta go with Polaroid, because Polaroid's the only ones that offer that right now. So I'm putting a link in the description where you can get the absolute best price on one of these. Like I said, they're under $100. You can pick out a ton of different colors. If the regular white and gray design is not for you, there's like a green, an orange, blue. There are so many colors to choose from now, which is crazy, and I'm excited about, and I definitely can't wait to get one for myself. I just wanted to let you know that this is a thing. The Polaroid Now is an actual thing. And Polaroid, if you're watching this, please don't give up on the product before it gets started. This is an amazing start. I'm excited for this product. I think that bringing back the Polaroid line of cameras is the way to go. I think you're really on the right track, and it's taken a long time to get here, and I appreciate that, and I think everybody else does too. But market this camera, because when I search Polaroid Now on YouTube, I should see pages and pages of results, not just a handful of videos done by people who happened to discover your product. This is a cool product that I know people are gonna want. They just have to know it's there and it exists. The film has gotten down to a price now to where it's affordable. It's comparable to the price of the Instax film. Yes, you don't get as many, but the size is bigger. You get that retro look. You're doing a lot of right things, Polaroid. Just keep it up. Continue to develop your cameras and create new styles of cameras and new features into these cameras. In my opinion, stick to the analog, stick to the original as much as possible, because adding in Bluetooth and all of these digital features and stuff, that's not really necessarily for me, and I don't think most people who want a Polaroid want a digital camera. They want a Polaroid. So keep it up. This is an amazing step. The Polaroid Now has a lot of features that are just really good, the price being one of them. So let me know in the comments what you think about the Polaroid Now, if you plan on getting one or if you've already got one. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already and you like film cameras and film photography and all that cool stuff, because there's a lot of that on this channel. Check out that link if you're wanting to get an amazing deal on the Polaroid Now, and I'll see you guys later.